One of the biggie things in the factors that causes weight gain is our genetics. It's in our gene. So the question is our height genetically determined? Yes and no, or I don't know. And if you guys think it's genetics, then how much percentage it is? So is it 10%, 25%, 50%, 70%, 85%, 90%, 100%? So yes, so 100% of you agree that height is genetically determined. That's so true. Very true. It is but the question is how much it is genetically. Actually, 70% is genetically determined. So the research has shown that the heritability of obesity is almost equivalent to that of a height, which is 70%. And it exceeds with many genetic disorders that we generally consider to be on a genetic basis. So if we think that height is genetically predetermined, the adult weight is genetically determined. Most of us, 70%. So in some studies, it has gone up to 80%. So 60 to 80%, we have a genetic disposition to gain weight. That's why the previous thoughts that we used to have, that it is nothing to do with one's willpower at all. So it's nothing to do with any personal deficiency. And the thoughts that many people would have, like I eat too much, that's why I'm overweight, I don't exercise enough, I'm overweight, or I don't have enough willpower, it's wrong. We have basically did not treated these sort of a population. And then these group of a patients, we have stigmatize them, we blame them, they have guilt, and they never show up to the doctor's office. I mean, the way that we have seen normally, that any patient who comes with weight issues, even for a skin problem or even from non-related thing, every time they will attribute it to their weight. I'm feeling itchy in my groin area, and then rather than treating that rash in the groin area, lose weight. I mean, yes, he understands that that's the problem here, but he's looking for some other. So every disease that a person used to come, we used to put a blame on it. We stigmatize them, we kill them. So, I mean, the way we used to treat it, it was very wrong. And then we have to start dealing it with more consciousness. I think this is the time that we can open a bit of a discussion here. What stigma that you have experienced in your past or even now, and how you want other professionals or other peers to do a better job. Yes, I think it's going to take time for other people to understand, because this is a new thing. I mean, still for us as a professional, this is a new concept, a new breakthrough. It's going to take time. So what I want you to understand, that our body, the way that we are made, our DNA, our genetics, we are programmed to defend the highest weight. So whenever you are planned to lose weight, you are going against your body's wishes. That's how simply we're going to put it. That's why everyone has trouble losing weight. And the reason is that the way that our body is being made, that historically this weight gain was an asset, because at the caveman times, where there's a condition, starvation, famine, we want to survive. So usually we didn't have food 3, 4, 5 times a day. It was not readily available. So whenever we have a meal, we want to store it, right? That's why this is the way the genetics was. So we had a meal, our ancestors go out, hunt for food, they come and prepare the meal, and we ate it, and we store that food in our body, because we didn't know at what time we're going to have a next meal, right? And then the next day comes, then they go out, hunt, have the meal, and then it was stored. So this is what the genetics that we are carrying. Now, what happened is that genetics that was programmed to gain weight has to have something what we call as a motivation system, the motivation to go out and get for food. So even though it's winters, it's snow, and if you don't have that motivation to go and find food, then you would die. So along with that genetics, our body, like our primitive appetite system, have this another set of genes that has a tendency to go find food so that we don't get hungry. So we have our ancestor have one meal, they have ate it, they have stored it. Now the next time comes, even though how much snow it is, how much bad the weather is, they have that motivation to go out and hunt, and then they go and get that. So what happens now with that genetics of gaining weight and the motivation to go and find food that was good at that time. But now what is happening, that genetics of gaining weight and the motivation to go get food combined and now colliding with our current environment, which is so we just obesogenic everywhere, anywhere, processed food, high sugar, high salt, 5 minutes away from our home, takeout, drop in, self delivery. This is where the main pandemic of obesity arise in early 1950s. I mean, if you look at the data before 1940s, there was no industrialized economies. Everyone was good. Everyone was walking. After 1950s, and the pandemic of obesity happens.